Hey everyone, I'm recording this on my laptop's internal mic in an empty room and also editing it on my laptop, so it's probably going to suck and also sound like I live in a fishbowl. This is the last video I'm making in 2019, the last video of the decade, and the last video I'll ever make in the home that this channel was born in 8 years ago. It's a little bittersweet, but bigger and better things await. For now, though, in this busy time when I'm trying to deal with the house and everything, let's stick with smaller and worse. The Quantum God, now known as the King Lightbulb. That's an even worse name change than when Theophilus dropped McPherson. 21st century is 2100 years.
Okay guys, so another video about the 21st century, etc.
This isn't the first one. I really want to see the other one. Remind me to look that up in a minute.
Now, I do think we live in the 20th century.
Oh. You know, despite the title, I still didn't quite expect that.
And it's a dead giveaway, and honestly, it's so funny.
You're right, it should have been a dead giveaway. Guess I was just being stupid.
I'm just gonna let you guys be stupid.
Hey, thanks, man.
So I'm gonna give you to the best of my ability to not slightly make you smarter, okay?
I feel very confident in your ability to not slightly make me smarter.
Okay, so 21st century is 2100 years.
Yeah, that's right. The 21st century since an event will last until 2100 years after that event, at which point 2100 years, or 21 centuries, will have been completed. So far so good, and you're dangerously close to slightly making me smarter, sir. Stop that. Do your job. Say something stupid.
Because of the mere definition of century.
That's true. If a century was defined as 1,000 years instead of 100, it'd be 21,000 years instead of 2,100. Where's the catch? How long until I facepalm so hard my glasses snap in half?
Definition of century. You know, the word.
I do know. The word.
So, 100 years, not 1 plus.
Meaning what? That a century is 100 years, not 101 years? Well, that's what I was figuring, but it's good to get confirmation from you. Thank you.
This is not a math problem.
It's not really any kind of problem.
It's moving, breathing atoms.
What's moving, breathing atoms? The word?
You're looking at one.
I'm looking at one, what? Moving, breathing atom? Aren't you a little tall for an atom? You alright there, bud?
Or atheist with consciousness. Hence my reflection of atheism's consciousness.
I know every single one of those words, but I still have no idea what you just said.
And hence the super of nature used.
I didn't mention I'm only doing this because it's a rough month, right? I mean, I thought the bottom of the barrel video was the bottom of the barrel, but at least there were actual sentences in that one. If I ever scrape further down than this, smack me.
Alright, I switched to my phone because I realized the laptop mic was like cutting off the ends of words. And I can handle kind of bad audio, but I can't handle that. I don't even know if half the stuff I'm saying is getting in, so... The phone's a little more annoying because I gotta transfer the files afterwards, but whatever, it'll work better. So as I was saying, if I ever scrape further down the bottom of the barrel than this, smack me.
Supernatural sort of things, isn't it?
Natural, kinda sorta, stuff not is.
You know, atoms are moving and breathing, you know.
I don't know anything. I don't even know if this is real life anymore. What am I even doing right now?
Toodles.
Ta-ta for now. Meaning right now, because in a few seconds I'm moving on to, is it the 21st century or 20th century? Maybe we'll get a bit more clarity on the argument there. Call me an optimist if you must.
Okay guys, so I would imagine everybody, especially you atheists, I would imagine a lot of people believe that we live in the 21st century.
I'd imagine a lot of people do, yes. Mostly due to counting.
Take note, it's the year 2019.
Oh, okay, let me just grab a piece of paper. Aha! I got one. Okay. You said it's the year 2019. Okay. 2019. Wait, 2000 is 20 centuries. How can we still be in one of those first 20 centuries if we're 19 years past all the 20 centuries?
20 centuries equal 2,000 years.
Yep, and therefore the first through 20th centuries all occurred within the first 2,000 years of the calendar, that is, before the year 2000. Remember, we're including the year 0. And today, according to my paper, it's, God damn it, where'd I put that thing? Hold on. Oh, here it is. Bag of millipedes, rubber ducky, big black dildo. That's my shopping list. Hold on. "2019. So we're 19 years past 2,000 years, which is 20 centuries. You know, I debunk a lot of really dumb stuff, but even I feel a little stupid even bothering to say this out loud. Although it seems there's at least one person out there who can benefit from this somehow, so hey, it's not totally pointless, I guess."
Sorry, 0.19 of a 2,000th year.
What? Rewind a little bit, would you? I have no idea what you said before that.
20 centuries equal 2,000 years. Sorry, 0.19 of a 2,000th year.
There's the glasses breaking facepalm. I knew it was coming. You had it right the first time, dude. 20 centuries is 2,000 years and exactly equal to 2,000 years. And of course, 20 centuries has to include the 20th one of those centuries, or it'd only be 19 centuries, wouldn't it? So we've already fully gone through 20 centuries and we're into the 21st. You were doing magnificent, but then you gave it more thought, which normally I'd encourage, but in this case seems to have caused nothing but trouble, and you corrected yourself to it being 0.19 of a 2,000th year, by which I guess you mean that, oh, I got it, by which you mean, actually no, sorry, I got nothing.
Yeah, you're lied to about the timeline of, that.
I suppose I could be lied to, but I'm still able to toss a couple extra zeros on the end of a 20 and see what I get. And what I get is 2,000. So if we're in a year bigger than 2,000, we gotta be in the 21st century. Anyway, I think that's about as far as we can reasonably go arguing about the 21st century, and then half again as far as that. So what do you want to talk about now? Whether a foot is really 13 inches?
Alright, so I'm going to be doing more arguments like energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed.
Oh, good. Probably not a lot there to work with either, but at least it's more interesting than first grade math.
Gonna do more like that, but this one is...
No, not but this one anything. I want that. You know, the energy thing. Where's that?
more or less, well, consciousness forming into reality through sound.
What do you think my consciousness had to do to form that sound in reality? It wasn't pretty, I'll tell you that much.
Is a bit supernatural.
Consciousness forming into reality through sound is a bit supernatural. Well, I suppose if consciousness wasn't already in reality and it literally turned into sound and then entered reality, which frankly I'm not entirely sure what any of that would even mean, well then okay, maybe then I'd start to wonder. But given that it's just meaningless word salad, I don't think I will. But go on, dude, realize your consciousness out your mouth hole and let's see what form it has.
Here's how.
The floor is yours.
So you must form thoughts to form words for matter and or energy to carry the words to your voice box.
There's plenty of room there to quibble with wording and improve clarity, but I have no major objection to the gist of it so far, so go ahead.
Thus, consciousness speaks beyond the material.
Okay, but everything you just mentioned is material. Your brain forms a thought to form words. You didn't explicitly say brain, but it is the brain. Matter and or energy carry those words to your voice box. Those are all distinctly physical things. So if you think consciousness is some immaterial ghost that lives inside the material brain or something like that, well, you do you, that's fine. But you said consciousness indirectly causing speech like this is consciousness speaking beyond the material, when what it seems like you're talking about is it speaking very much within the material. Wouldn't speaking beyond the material be like psychically transmitting messages directly into some other consciousness ghost, non-physically?
So consciousness is supernatural.
Oh, is that what this is meant to prove? See, I thought you started with that as an assumption, just from the way you put it all across. Alright, so none of what you said actually addressed the nature of consciousness. It addressed the vocalizations of conscious entities and only described physical material processes. How does the involvement of matter and energy in a voice box in human speech lead you to, therefore, consciousness is supernatural?
For an act of magic is occurring.
Oh, so somewhere in your argument is going to be the premise, this is magic. Well, frankly, I find that unusually honest. It's actually kind of refreshing. Okay, which part of speech is magic and why do you think that?
For how did thought enter sound?
There's no thought in sound. Sound is just movement in the air. Thought is a process in the brain. You know, someday soon I should consider responding to a video that doesn't make me question every single one of my life choices.
Now, because consciousness is supernatural, through magic, consciousness may have likely caused the origin of the universe.
I wouldn't say that'd make it likely, but if you demonstrated that magic is in fact real, and I don't mean by telling me, isn't speech magical somehow, but like a real demonstration, then I'd be happy to meet you in the middle somewhere around possible. Because after all, if you live in a universe where straight up magic is happening 24/7, it doesn't exactly stretch the imagination that all kinds of stuff might have happened because of it.
Yeah, sounds about right to me, and
I know. I'm sorry.
I guess I can throw in that, nothing is considered supernatural. Everything in the confines of the universe is considered natural, which is, to me, kind of hilarious because the way I think of natural is nature. So, Earth, things that occur on Earth are pretty much natural.
Oh, I see. So for consciousness to be supernatural, it doesn't have to be some immaterial, non-physical entity. It just has to be, running on a cloud server in a satellite? Is that what you think consciousness is? It just runs somewhere else and gets transmitted to Earth? Because, if consciousness is happening on Earth, then it's natural, right? Not supernatural? Wait a second, does all this mean that astronauts are supernatural? What altitude do you have to reach for the conversion to happen? Is there some kind of meter or indicator on their spacesuits that tells them when they turn supernatural? Is it like a hard line with an instant obvious transition, or is supernaturalism on a spectrum, and you gradually get more of it as you move further away from Earth? And what happens if you come back to Earth after? Do you stay supernatural? Do you turn back to natural? Sorry, I'm getting too excited here. We have the whole rest of the video to learn all this stuff. Enlighten me, Lightbulb.
So, yeah. There you go.
Or don't enlighten me, I guess I've got all the information I need. Alright. How about Bible allows free will?
What's up, guys? So, got a little argument.
I hope you brought enough for the whole class.
And I decided to put on this hoodie because, it kind of reps this argument. And
I don't know how or why it reps an argument, but I will say that is one fine looking hoodie. Check out the quality of that fabric, that finely crafted shape of the hood. It's magnificent.
You'll see why. But
okay, cool. We'll find out later.
Is anyone, according to free will, able to question the Bible or Word of God?
According to free will? Sure. A Christian might insist that person will face punishment in hell for doing it, but they can still do it.
Yes or no?
Well, that's going to have to be a yes from me. If absolute free will is a thing, which I'm not saying I agree with, but that's the hypothetical, at least I assume that's the kind of free will you're talking about, then yes, anyone is able to question the Bible.
Now, if yes, then why do atheists go to hell according to John 3:16?
John 3:16 doesn't really say that. What it actually says is, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." It doesn't actually say atheists go to hell. You can't even infer it directly from that. And in fact, John 3 overall doesn't even specify what happens to unbelievers, other than they're condemned to something. But obviously, I do get the point of the question. I'm just kind of nitpicking at you for fun, but I do question the relevance of that question to what you said before. According to free will, is anyone able to question the Bible? If yes, why do atheists go to hell? Well, it's because atheists have free will and are able to question the Bible, and if they do, they get chucked in hell. These are not contradictory. I think the better question would have been, is anyone allowed to question the Bible or disbelieve it entirely without ending up in hell? I think that's a better way to ask what you're trying to ask.
Hence, punish unless you believe, or hell. Now, if no, then why must we rudely accept our friends or family going to hell?
Depends on the person's exact beliefs, I guess, but I think for a lot of people, the must is because you don't want to question God lest you wind up there yourself. And I don't mean you as in you, I know you don't believe this hell stuff, but I'm talking about a hypothetical Christian of a certain stripe. But I do agree that it's rude to successfully manage to accept that your friends and family are going to hell. I mean, after all, I can't think of much that's more callous and inhuman than being all right with someone you love being punished for eternity because they don't share your opinions. That's just nasty.
I mean, it's like bow to me, Kim Jong-un. Bow to me. Oh, we gotta bow to him. Oh, no.
To extend your analogy, it's kind of like Kim's goons dragging your kid off to some unspeakable place for not idolizing the great leader enough. And you never see that kid again, and you just keep walking around with a shit-eating grin on your face and a spring in your step because you think the leader's going to give you a house, as long as you stay well-behaved for another 20 years or so. You know, I didn't think it'd be you of all people who successfully dragged me back into talking about hell.
Now, here's why I think this is so fitting. You guys know that guy Logic, right? Yeah, he's pretty damn cool. I like him.
Oh, yeah, I know him. He's that fat pantyhose-faced coward who tips his extra tall fedora about atheism all the time and thinks it's Halloween 24/7 of the year. I like him too.
You know, I kind of forgot about him for quite a bit, but, you know, ever since he popped back up, yeah, I like him.
As strange as it is to say, the feeling's kind of mutual. We gotta have another live stream sometime, dude.
So...
What? That's me! And I'm on your shirt! Dude, did you notice? I'm there on your shirt right there. I'm there on your shirt. Why am I on your shirt?
That's kind of why.
That's kind of why... Oh, why it reps the argument about hell? Yeah, I guess I can see the connection.
I just think it's quite fitting because he, like, rips the Quran, the Bible, some Yetis, you know, apart.
Yeah, the airport Yeti. 2019 was a weird year, but it should be clear by now that I'm gonna mix in a little more plain old religion stuff going forward. It was fun to take a year and do nothing but weird topics, but it's kind of like Neapolitan ice cream with just chocolate and no vanilla. Yeah, that vanilla's a little boring, but it belongs there. As for what the strawberry might be, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Just thought it was kind of fitting. So, deuces.
Yeah, man, deuces. Nah, it's not working for me. I'm not cool enough to pull off deuces. Bye-bye. And ha-hi, because I'm not even at 3,000 words, and that includes the times on each line of the transcript. So I gotta keep going. God exists, -1.
Alright guys, so this is very simple and basic proof that a God is, well, possible to exist and or does exist.
I'm tempted to scoff, but you do own my hoodie, and you chose purple, which is the color I would have chosen. So I automatically find you more credible. I'm slightly worried for my atheism now. And here was where I was going to insert an atheistified version of some famous anti-doubt prayer. But I didn't, because I didn't find any famous prayers that I knew and thought most English-speaking people would know, and that would fit the joke I wanted to make, and I didn't want to just write one myself, because that'd defeat the purpose of the joke. But what I did find while Googling around was this page on Catholic.org that's asking for money, just like Wikipedia does, which I don't have a problem with, except that it's exactly like Wikipedia's been doing recently. Now, the exact message wasn't coming up on Wikipedia for me anymore, so I had to Google it, and I just grabbed it off some random Twitter. And as you can see, the Catholic one is basically a word-for-word copy, which I find kind of baffling. You could write a unique one in 2 minutes. Someone over there is God-tier lazy.
So, you can't prove God's existence.
Then what was all the point of those, 100-and-something God exists videos that were supposed to prove God exists?
But consciousness walks.
That seems like a meaningless jumble of words, but you do have my shirt, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and try to seriously interpret it. I think this is related to the other argument about consciousness in this video, about how consciousness enters reality as sound, meaning that a thought occurs in a person's conscious mind, they make a decision to say it, and that prompts the brain to engage the parts of the body that physically produce the sounds of words. And in the same way, a conscious mind can decide to walk, and how to walk, which you characterize as consciousness itself walking. Is that kind of what you're trying to get at?
That is proof God is possible to be proven by rationale.
Alright, let me take a swing at this one too. So, consciousness walks, and therefore consciousness is supernatural because consciousness is space magic, and if magic, therefore God, maybe. And no, I actually can't take this seriously, even as pretend, sorry. So I think I gotta call it a day here. I'm not gonna get any more gold from this straw right now, if I got any in the first place.
So yeah.
Oh, and turns out I was right about the audio sucking. Oof. Would have been a lot worse, though, if I didn't notice how bad the laptop one was and switched to my phone. Whatever, for one video, it's fine, nothing I can do about it. We should have everything set up fairly soon. So subscribe, give the video a like, and if you like the channel, consider tossing in a couple bucks on Patreon, Subscribestar, PayPal, or whatever else you find on support.logic.com. Even small donations go a long way, and I really appreciate them all. Anyway, see you soon with better audio.